Have you ever felt like life keeps beating you down? Like no matter how hard you try, something always goes wrong? Betrayal, failure, loss, pain. It feels like the world is out to break you. But here's the truth. It's not life that's breaking you. It's your mind. You've been trained to be fragile, to run from pain, to fear discomfort, to beg for an easier life. But what if I told you that's a trap? The world isn't fair. It never was. The strong survive, the weak crumble. And the difference between the two? Mindset. The Stoics and the masters of dark psychology understood something modern society has forgotten. Pain is not your enemy, it's your greatest weapon. Today, I'll show you how to train your mind to be unbreakable so that when life comes for you, you'll laugh in its face. But before we go deeper, drop a comment below saying, I am unbreakable. Let's see how many warriors are here. Now, let's begin. 1. The truth about pain. How your mind becomes weak. Weakness doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow, silent infection. It starts with small things: seeking comfort, avoiding discomfort, craving approval. You don't realize it, but every time you give in to fear, every time you run from struggle, you are training your mind to break. And then one day life hits you with real pain, a betrayal, a failure, a loss that shakes your soul. And what happens? You shatter. Not because the pain is too much, but because you were never trained to handle it. The Stoics knew this all too well. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." But most people do the opposite. They blame life. They wait for circumstances to change. They hope for an easier road instead of becoming stronger themselves. That's why the first step to becoming unbreakable is to stop fearing pain. You must reprogram your mind to see suffering not as destruction, but as transformation. Because pain isn't what makes you weak. It's your resistance to pain that breaks you. If this is hitting deep, comment below. Pain makes me stronger. Let's see who's truly ready to train their mind. Now let's move to the first law of mental strength, the rule that separates the weak from the strong. Ushur 2, the first Stoic law: control what you can, let go of the rest. Most people waste their lives fighting battles they were never meant to fight. They obsess over the past. They fear the future. They let other people's opinions, rejection, and failures consume them. And in doing so, they hand over their power. But the Stoics knew the secret to an unbreakable mind. Control what you can. Let go of the rest. Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." Understand this. You don't control the storm. You control how you stand in it. You don't control who leaves you, who betrays you, or who tries to break you. But you do control how you respond. You don't control whether life is fair, but you do control whether you let it make you bitter or stronger. And here's the harsh truth. If you spend your energy fighting what you can't change, you'll always be weak. If you focus your energy on what you can control, you become unstoppable. So right now, ask yourself, what pain am I holding on to that I can't control? What fears am I feeding that I should be starving? Because if you don't master this rule, life will own you. If you're ready to take control of your mind, comment, "I control my mind. My mind doesn't control me." Now let's go deeper into one of the most powerful Stoic techniques to prepare yourself for 3. The power of negative visualization. Preparing for the worst. Most people live in denial. They hope things will get better. They hope life won't hit them with tragedy. They hope that pain won't come knocking. But the Stoics knew, hope is not a strategy. If you want to train your mind to be unbreakable, you must do what most people fear. You must prepare for the worst. This is called negative visualization. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, practiced it daily. He would imagine losing everything: his wealth, his home, even his life. Not to make himself suffer, but to make himself ready. Because when you've already faced the worst in your mind, nothing can shake you in reality. Think about it. If you knew you could lose everything tomorrow, how would you live today? If you accepted that pain was coming, would you fear it, or would you prepare for it? Weak minds ignore reality. Strong minds train for it. So right now, visualize your worst fear. Imagine failing. Imagine being betrayed. Imagine losing something precious. Let it sink in. Feel the weight of it. Now tell yourself, if this happens, I will endure. I will not break. I will rise again. Because when you make peace with the worst, nothing can scare you anymore. If you're ready to train your mind for anything, comment below. I fear nothing. I am prepared. Now let's take this even further. It's time to rewire your mind using voluntary hardship. Verse 4, how to rewire your mind. Using voluntary hardship, comfort is a slow poison. The more you seek it, the weaker you become. The more you avoid struggle, the more fragile your mind grows. The Stoics understood this. That's why they practiced hardship before hardship arrived. Marcus Aurelius slept on the floor instead of his royal bed. Seneca wore rags and lived like a beggar, even though he was one of the richest men in Rome. Epictetus, born into slavery, trained his mind to be free even when his body was chained. Why? Because they knew the man who chooses suffering before it chooses him is never caught off guard. This is called voluntary hardship, and if you want to train your mind to be unbreakable, you must make yourself uncomfortable on purpose. Wake up earlier than you want. Take cold showers. Fast when you don't have to. Push yourself harder in the gym. Walk in the rain without an umbrella. Do the things that make you uncomfortable, because discomfort is the training ground of the strong. When you expose yourself to controlled suffering, real suffering doesn't scare you. When life throws you into the fire, you won't beg for mercy, you'll welcome it. If you're ready to embrace hardship,